G'day everyone, it's been a while since I've uploaded and it's been even longer since I've done a video like this. I know these types of videos aren't for everyone, but I've really wanted to do this one for a long time. I am 4 different scripts in and I'm 2 videos down, and I'm just hoping this is the one. So yeah, enjoy. The sounds that you're hearing right now, what do they sound like? What do they make you feel? Now I'll explain all that in a second, but for now, I just want you to take a deep breath and notice your surroundings. Really take them in. Do you feel comfortable? Where are you? What time is it? What's the lighting like? Do you feel relaxed or energetic? Tired or fully conscious? I'll give you a second. Okay, so now that you've taken in where you are and how you're feeling, I'll finally tell you what this video is about. Have you ever come up with a melody in your head that just sounds so beautiful by itself? No need for any other instruments or vocals that would screw it all up? And have you ever thought what it would be like to have that masterpiece envisioned into its song itself, and not just a dream in your head? The band who created the sound that you're hearing, the waves of notes and the smooth ambience of an instrument you don't yet recognize, is a small 3-piece band named simply Jakob. Jakob, spelled with a K, is an instrumental band who emerged from the music scene in 1998. The band is based in Napier, Hawke's Bay in New Zealand, about a 6.5-hour journey from where I live in Auckland, New Zealand. The band consists of guitarist Jeff Boyle, bassist Maurice Beckett, and drummer, my personal favorite, Jason Johnston. Jakob has released 4 full-scale albums since 2001 and has released 2 EPs since 1999. The first EP, self-titled Jakob, was released to the public in 1999, receiving very positive reviews. I started off with 1 delay pedal, and then we were jamming in Jason's dad's shed. He'd moved to Australia and left all of his gear. He used to be in this funky reggae band, and there was this one pedal, an Ibanez AFL, a auto filter, so I tried it out. I put it next to the one I had, played a chord, and went wow 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 wow. And we all just looked at each other, and they went, do that again. And that became Garaka, a song from the EP in 1999, self-titled. And that's all it was. That became our sound. It was so accidental. Jakob for me has really changed my perspective as a whole. Maybe I'm too emotional, but it's helped me through a lot of things, and I've always come out on top of it all with the help of their music. I would describe their music as some others describe it, the calm before the storm, but however I do agree, I would best describe it as a wall of sound. The calm ambience at the start, building up to hanging onto each note, swaying to the sounds, and as you progress through the song, the music starts to drag you in even more than before, as you hold desperately on in wait of the climax. And when it hits you, there's no turning back. You feel as though you are floating in space or sitting atop a mountain and looking towards the stars. And as the climax pulls you in again, you'll feel the weight of each note and the meaning behind every chord. My favorite album by them is sort of tied between their newest releases as of the date I am recording this video. So their albums Solace and Signs, with my favorite song from each album being Everything All of the Time from Solace and Harmonia from Signs. Now I'll tell you how I found this amazing band. It started just about on the 31st of October 2020, so almost a year ago from the time I'm writing this. So Halloween night, I had planned for my now best friend, a new friend at the time, to come over for the night, as we were planning to sneak out after 12 at night. As I was waiting for my friend to show up, I was just playing No Man's Sky on my PC, flying around in space and visiting different planets, but I couldn't find anything to listen to on Spotify. So I had the idea of checking out what my band's guitarist at the time was listening to. Is It Really You by a band called Loathe. I decided to hit play, expecting myself not to like it, and then a soft ambience filled my ears, calming and intriguing. After moments of the ambience, I hear the drums coming and then the rest of the band hitting in on the same note. I thought to myself, wow, this actually sounds pretty good. And then the vocals came in, and I was completely blown away. The rest of the song was the blur of sound and music, but by the end I didn't have the guts to turn it off, so I kept it on repeat. My friend and I listened to that song pretty much on repeat all night. And it was a pretty good night, although there were a few mishaps, of course, well, teenagers, I guess. Then after about a week of finding new songs from the band, it was finally time for my drum lesson. If you don't already know, I play the drums, and I have been since the start of 2017. Anyways, I showed a few of the songs I found to my drum teacher, and he recommended me 3 bands: Deftones, Jakob, and Mogwai. And that night, as I lay awake, I scrolled through Spotify to try and find those artists, and I selected a few songs that I liked from each band. At the start, I really didn't pay much attention to them, occasionally listened to maybe some of the Deftones songs and the Jakob songs, but I never really got into Mogwai, even now. But one day I was just sitting in my science class listening to music, and one of the Jakob songs hit me more than it had before. Safety in Numbers was the track. As soon as I got home, I listened to it again, and again, and again. Then I pulled out my speaker and blasted the song in my room, dancing all around the place. After a while, I started to find more and more Jakob songs that I enjoyed, one after the other after the other. Then one night, as I was checking out their YouTube page, I came across an album teaser. It was a small soundbite of the most beautiful song I'd ever heard. I spent ages trying to find it, then I checked when the video was released 8 years ago. I checked their discography and I found it. A song called Harmonia from Science. Over the next few days, it was all I could listen to. I didn't want to turn it off or pick a different song. Then a few days later, it was late at night. Around 1 a.m. in the morning, I was sitting up on a chair out on my deck, with a lit cigarette in hand, my headphones blasting, staring up at the night sky, listening to that song, Harmonia. As the song progressed, I could feel my body getting lighter and lighter, and when the song was about to reach its climax, I had an out-of-body experience. I won't share the experience here for the sake of making this video any longer than it already is, but if you do want to hear the experience, feel free to say down in the comments, and also maybe some constructive criticism or some feedback would be much appreciated. Well, talking about making this video too long, I think it's time to wrap it all up now. If you want a part 2 talking more about the band's music and how they formed and the making of their EPs and albums, then go ahead and press the like button. But in conclusion, please give Jakob a listen. You will not regret it. It is pure music in my opinion, and I highly recommend it to anyone who stumbles upon this video. And if you do want to see more of this type of content for other bands or songs, then just tell me down in the comments and maybe drop a like down there. It honestly does really help me out. And also, share this with some of your friends and family too. I'm an extremely small channel, but I put my all into these videos because I honestly enjoy doing them. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little passion project of mine. I've worked on it for a long time. And make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this. I promise to make more of these when I have the time and the motivation to do so. So thank you for your time, and I'll catch you sometime later.